How do you get him to spoil naturally? By suggesting, I would never even marry a man who's not going to spoil me. I'm not going to sit in a marriage and try to figure out how to get a person to spoil me. What I do is I send the picture of what I want. He purchases it. What I do is I suggest that I would like something, or I want to go on a vacation, and he books it. If he wasn't doing these things before marriage, I would have never even accepted his ring. See, this is what we have to realize. These things are not created after the marriage, they're created before the marriage. So that is how I do it. But that is because of the fact that if he wasn't doing these things, I would have never accepted his ring. I wasn't desperate. I wasn't thirsty. I had other guys that were right behind him. So if he didn't want to book the trip, if he didn't want to take me out to dinner, if he didn't want to spoil me, if he didn't want to provide for me, I would just tell him, I would just move around. I mean, it's just that simple. Like I said, we complicate things and you don't need to. Let's not complicate things. Make things easy for yourself. If you're dealing with a guy and you got to figure out how to get him to spoil you, you're dealing with the wrong guy. If you can't say to this guy, hey, oh, you know what? I would love to go on a vacation. I could just see myself with my little two-piece bikini on and just strutting around. And if he ain't saying in the next breath and he ain't catching on, what's not clicking, Stephen? And he ain't catching on that you want to go on a vacation, and he not saying like, hey, where you want to go? And, you know, when is a good time for you to go on this vacation? If he's not catching on to that, and you got to sit here and go and jump through hoops, and you got to write him a letter, and you got to sit here and talk to his mom, and you got to go talk to his friends, you got to keep dropping these seeds and everywhere for him to get and catch on, baby girl, he the wrong one. He the wrong one. A man that wants you, he's going to listen what you're saying, and he's not going to be closed off. And he's going to hear you, and he's going to be trying to figure out how to please you. And then also, since another thing you all do that's very, very, very not a good idea, you commit. You commit to him, and you're not married. So why would I go out here and try to prove myself to a woman that's already given me everything? If you've already given me the title of being a girlfriend, if you've already given me, a boyfriend, if you've already given me these titles and you've already called me your man, if you're already doing these things, why would I go jump through hoops for you? I wouldn't. That's how men think. Men don't think to go jump through hoops for women who've already committed to them and they didn't have to work for it. If they didn't have to work for you, baby, they're not trying to do anything extra to commit to you. Because honestly, when you decide to say, hey, that's my man over there. That's my man. That's my man. What are you talking about, bro? That's my man. That's my man. When you over here talking about that's your man, you claiming him and you approving and affirming him. You approved him and affirmed him when you claim him in your band. And since you approved and affirmed him, why would he go do anything extra? You've already said that you accept him not taking you on dates. You accept him not spoiling you. You accept him not looking after you. You approved him, baby. You affirmed him. And since you approved and affirmed him, that told him that he doesn't have to do anything else. See, we do it all wrong, and then we get confused why we're not getting the results we thought we should get. You all depend on love. I depend on strategy. I depend on strategy. Y'all depend on love. Depending on love, you may look up and get a guy who's going to do the princess treatment, who's going to spoil you, who's going to go the extra mile for you and do all these extra things. But that, y'all know that's rare, right? Yeah, that's rare air that you're trying to get to. Rare air is actually trying to get with the guy that's in love with you and he's immediately going to fall in alignment and give you all these things. It takes strategy. It truly is strategy. So I did not date one man. I dated multiple men. And I would just drop them like that. I didn't sit around here and try to figure out, oh man, he had a rough childhood. Should I care? No. Next. Oh man, he just didn't have a father in his life. Should I care? No, not my problem. I got enough trouble trying to change me. Why in the crap I'm going to sit here and attach myself to a man who got mental issues, who got wounds, who don't know anything about masculinity, who wasn't taught or been around other men? Not my problem. Move around. So I did not sit here and focus on one guy. I dated multiple men. When a man wasn't living up to his word, I moved around. I didn't give him a second chance, a third chance, a maybe, a perhaps. I moved around. I would stop answering his phone calls. I would block him. I would no longer be in areas or space where he's going to be at. I moved around. I did not sit and figure out how to change this man, how to figure out why his childhood traumas and what can I do to make it better? How can I get him to like me? Baby, I moved around. That is what I did. And I moved around and I kept moving around until I moved around and dated my husband. And even then, I did not make it easy. The chase was on. Even when I realized, okay, this man is going to be my husband, but ain't nothing wrong with having one in the pocket. Always. And since I always had one in the pocket, I didn't sit here and let him chase me just because I felt like he was going to be a good husband. You all, as soon as you feel like he's going to be a good husband, y'all done cut off every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You ain't answering the phone calls anymore. You ain't available. You ain't around. You done blocked all the other guys and just focus on this one guy. And trust me when I tell you that energetically you can feel that you are focused on just them. That you don't have any other men on the roster. You don't have any other men that you're dating. And since they know this, they know they got you locked in. They start trying to change things around. They start stopping giving gifts. They stop taking you out. They start treating you in a manner and seeing if you're going to accept it. Y'all got to realize men will test too. They will test to see if you're willing to accept less than your price. And if you do, and you don't move around, or there's no consequences to the actions or to his actions, then he will continue to do the same behavior. See, you all are relying too much on being a good person. You're relying too much on being a good person. And y'all, I have nothing against being a good person. I truly do believe I'm a good person too. But I also know that just because I'm a good person, everybody doesn't deserve getting access to that good person. And you have to realize men understand this. If there was an example of not allowing people to just, use their energy and time up, it's a man. Men will make sure that they move around when something is not beneficial to them. They're not getting what they want. Men will make sure that their standards are known, that they want this, this, and this, and this, and this, and women sit back scared. What's not clicking? What's not clicking? You all truly do believe that you get in a relationship and then you try to figure out, how do I get him to treat me well? That is not the way this works. If he wasn't treating you well, why did you get in a relationship? If he wasn't treating you well, if he wasn't treating you as the princess that you deserve to be treated as, if he wasn't providing for you, if he was doing all these extra things, why are y'all in relationship with these people? Why aren't you moving around? Why aren't you going on to the next one? Is it because you fear going on to the next one? Is it because you feel like there's a lack of men? Are you scared of moving on? See, the thing is, y'all, there's reasons why women do the things they do. There's reasons why they stay in these relationships that don't benefit them. There's reasons why they stay in relationships where they're not getting their needs met. Like, this is all weird to me. Like, it is very weird to me for a woman to be in a relationship and not become or be her best self because she doesn't feel safe. A woman is just like a flower. She can't bloom unless she's in safety and security. And if all she does is be on the defense and try to protect herself and try to make sure that she is not, that she's protected, you can't bloom as a woman. You can't bloom. You don't feel safe. You don't feel secure. So if you're not getting any of that, why stay in a relationship? Why stay with someone who's not giving you what you desire or deserve? It is truly your birthright as a woman to be provided for, taken care of, to be treated like a princess. But you can't get your birthright unless you take it by the hands. You gotta grab it, baby. It's not gonna be given to you. It's just not. I wish it was just that easy. I wish I had good news for you. I wish I could tell you it's just gonna be given to you and all you gotta do is be. But I'm telling you, that's not the way it works. And men want you to be your best. They want to be with a woman who has high standards, who's going to make them work for it, who's going to make them earn, who's going to make them prove. They don't want easy access. They don't want easy access.